This little kid came up to me a couple days ago and said something like, "Mister, your pants are all muddy." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Thanks." I'm like, "Yeah, I walk my dog in swamps," and he thought that was great. But he probably gets advice from his mom that staying clean is better. Which, you know, here's the thing about that is that's just better for the mom, you know, like she doesn't have to do so much cleaning. It's not better for the kid. So I think the kid was happy to get some advice that was a little bit different than the mom's. Sometimes it's good to get dirty, especially when you're walking your dog in swamps. You see the swamp I'm at right now? That beautiful spot. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Good advice. Always talk baby talk to your dog. You know, I talk all kinds of talk, but baby talk definitely there. Sometimes when Akila's especially sad, I give him like, yeah, I know, buddy. I know, buddy. Thinking about advice. I had a dream last night where I was getting all sorts of advice from this guy, like a long string of advice. We're gonna go soon, buddy. We're gonna go soon. Why don't you go look around, see some stuff? Dig up a mouse. Dig up some mice. This guy was giving me a long string of advice, and I remember one of the things he said was hold people responsible for something like your goodwill towards them. Can't quite remember what he said, but hold people responsible for your feelings to them or the things that you do for them. So it's something along those lines. I thought it was interesting advice. I started thinking about advice then. All the advice I've heard, the really bad advice that I've heard. I've heard bad advice that's probably good advice. Some of the best advice I ever got was to live a life of truth, which I always thought of myself as an honest person. But then when you say, well, I want to live a life of truth, suddenly you realize there's a lot about life that isn't necessarily honest. It's not necessary to be honest. So to actually be honest takes, you know, it takes mindfulness. Alright, so now I'm figuring out why I'm coughing and why I'm bubbling. It's because right as I start to lean forward, I can feel my mouth water. So saliva is getting in the stem. The bad advice I heard once, there was this girl that was dating guys, like she was like just dating guys, but two of the dates have gotten kind of serious pretty much at the same time. Like maybe she was getting ready to commit to somebody, and that feeling of being ready to commit to somebody kind of went to two guys. Like two guys seized the moment. So things got out of control there, and we were sitting around drinking, and she said, guys really need to be possessive and respond to jealousy by something like by claiming their women. Oh, I remember she said something like, guys need to fight for their women. And I thought, geez, that's some really bad advice. Except for, that would have been great advice for her, because that would prevent her from really being responsible, having like two steady boyfriends, if that was a bad thing. She wanted one of them to fight for her. I don't think she was bad. Like, I don't think she was a bad woman. I think that I think that she just got caught up with the excitement of dating a bunch of people at once, and then the excitement of two of the relationships kind of like taking off. Really, she should have just dated both those guys. She should have said, you know what, Joe, Mark, you're my boyfriends. Maybe that's what I should have done. The advice I should have given her. You should just have them. You should just both manage them as a group. You're not dating two different guys. You're dating those guys. Too much talking, not enough pipe management. Anyway, thinking about advice. And the thing about, I was like, say, like, hey, let's share some advice. And the thing is, though, like, whatever advice works for, what I'm thinking about, whatever advice works for certain people isn't going to work for others. Some good advice is going to be bad advice. You know what I'm saying? Always give advice. No, wait, never give advice. What do you think?